Hi everybody, I'm Renate Robertson. I am a UMass alum. I graduated in 2007. I took John's Sustainable Living Class the second year it was offered, and it was my favorite class and really changed a lot of the ways that I see the world. So it's really good to be back. And I got into the Occupy movement in October when I went to the first Occupy Northampton protest on October 8th. October 9th I went to Occupy Boston. And the things that I saw there and heard and have been involved with ever since then have really just opened my mind and my heart to a new way of living and cooperating. So one of the major causes of the protests that have started in the U.S. is income inequality. And as you can see on this chart, we have the greatest levels of income inequality now in this country than we have since the beginning of the Great Depression. And so when you look at when people say we are the 99%, that's as opposed to the top 1% who has, almost a quarter of the share of all the income. So July 13th, 2011, Adbusters ran these ads with the Occupy Wall Street hashtag saying September 17th, bring a tent. And this spread through Twitter. And August 2nd was the first New York City General Assembly. 60 people showed up to plan for the occupation. September 17th, day 1, 1,000 people come to demonstrate, and 100 people spend the night in tents in Zuccotti Park, which is a privately owned park in Manhattan. News spreads through word of mouth, Facebook and Twitter. Demonstrations grow, and more people come to start camping every day. The park develops into its own sort of self-sustaining community. There's a kitchen. They feed thousands of people a day. It's huge. There's the Occupy Wall Street People's Library. It's a free library. Going back to the timeline, September 17th, the occupation began. September 24th, as the protests in New York City grow, police violence comes along with it, and these two female activists were obviously unarmed, pepper sprayed in the face by New York cops. It was caught on camera, and this drew again a lot of national outrage. So throughout October, Occupy spreads to a lot of major cities like Boston. I took this photo at Occupy Boston on October 8th. To a lot of big cities all over the world, London, Australia, and to many smaller towns as well. And the Guy Fawkes mask from the movie V for Vendetta, and also, of course, the logo of the activist collective Anonymous becomes a popular symbol for the movement. These are just some images from different occupations. A lot of them had libraries. Here's a People's Library at Occupy Vancouver. Here's a 99% march through Manhattan. Occupy Sesame Street. This is another photo from the march I went on in Boston. We participated in a sit-in in front of the Federal Reserve Bank. The occupiers are very well organized. They have people doing first aid at the protest in case anybody gets hurt. These are some photos from Occupy Northampton, the first day of the protest. We've been active continuously since that first day. We have meetings every Saturday, and we have demonstrations in front of the Bank of America right there on Main Street every Friday with drums and signs, and it's pretty awesome. So November 15th, day 60, the NYPD raids Zuccotti Park in the middle of the night, shuts it down, comes in, slashes the tents, confiscates people's property. A lot of people have their possessions destroyed, and you can see there's a lot of excessive force. There's 3 of them taking down one unarmed protester. Right, so at this point in the protest, people decided to make a change from occupying the tent cities, because it was getting into December, it was getting cold, the encampments were being taken down, so they decided to go for a new strategy called Occupy Our Homes, where they begin to occupy foreclosed buildings. And January 28th, just 5 days ago, day 134 of the occupation in Oakland, a bunch of people tried to take over a building that had been vacant for years, and they wanted to, the city was sitting on it, and they wanted to turn it into a community center. So that's what they tried to do. Oh, this is this past Monday. This is at Springfield, Mass. No One Leaves. It's a coalition to, keep foreclosed families, to keep evicted families in their homes. So this particular home was foreclosed on. They gave the woman a mortgage that they knew she couldn't afford. So Springfield No One Leaves had a big group of people there, 50 people on the sidewalk in this little residential neighborhood, chanting, banging drums, holding signs, and singing. And the auctioneers never show a society that is truly of, by, and for the people. It's all up to us. We're the generation that's going to inherit this planet, and it's really up to us where we want to go from here. You are, and therefore I am. We are interdependent. This is creating a sustainable future that we can all live in happily, all have homes, all have food, all have medical care. This is something that you and I and all of us can do together, and we will do it together. We are the 99%. It's not just a slogan. It's a way of seeing each other, of listening to each other, of having heart-to-heart communication and understanding. And we are all one. So let's live it, as this lady's sign says. And we used to say every morning we wake up and we have a choice. We can put on the eyes of fear, or we can put on the eyes of love. And the eyes of fear will make us buy guns, put bigger locks on our doors, build up walls between each other. And the eyes of love are how we see each other and recognize our common humanity and the fact that we all share a future, and that basically we are all the same inside. We all experience sadness and great joy, and we all have the same emotions and the same human needs, and we have more in common than we have in